All right, guys, so today we are going to be looking at and working with our Module 6 information that we have, analyzing the notes and the rhythms. We are specifically looking at the song for piano and guitar and analyzing how many beats and we are counting the beats here. So let's take a look at our instructions for the first bit. Question 1 is asking to count the rhythms for measures 1 through 6, and it's worth 6 points. This will use the same method as modules 2 and 4 on their counting in order to do this. So I'm going to take a look over here. This is measure 1, and I see in this measure 1 a whole rest. Okay, and I have right here drawn another example of a whole rest. The whole rest, what it means is 4 beats of silence, or if it's the only thing in a measure, then it takes up however much space that measure has. If that measure only has 2 beats, then it takes up 2 beats. If it has 16 beats and it's just the whole measure there, it takes up all 16 beats. Okay, in our case, we are in 4/4 time. That means that it takes up 4 beats. Okay, it didn't matter that it uses the entire measure because it's still just 4 beats right here. Okay, so we're looking at 4 beats of rest. So I come back over here and I start to type my answer. Remember that it goes inside of those brackets. Anything that is a rest goes inside of the greater than and less than signs. Okay, and the whole note gets 4 beats of rest. Okay, now notice when we are done with that, we need to make sure that we put in this bar line. All right, the bar line is shift plus the backward slash, and that slash button is right above the enter key. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. Now let's take a look at the next measure. It is the same as the first measure. That is also 4 beats of rest. So 1, 2, 3, 4 beats of rest right there. All right, now we get into something a bit more interesting. In this measure right here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 beats. Okay, I'm going to draw above this how many beats each type of note gets. All right, so our quarter notes each get 1 beat apiece, and the half note gets 2 beats. Now, that's not what I write over here on this side with my rhythm counting. So now that I've written out how many beats each of these notes get, I'm going to write underneath here which beats go with it. And we know we're in 4/4 time, so there are 4 total beats. If it has more than 1 beat, we put it inside of parentheses unless it's a rest. If it's a rest, then it goes inside of those other brackets. So that's my counting for that first measure there. I bring myself back over to this other side, and then I write out that counting. 1, 2, inside of parentheses, 3, 4. New measure. Now I come back over here. This is measure 3. I take a look at this. All right, now I'm looking here at this next measure. I see that this rhythmic pattern is the same as the previous measure. We have quarter note, half note. So that's 1 beat here, 1 beat there, and 2 beats with the half note. Right, now I know what my counting is. I come back over here and I write it down into my worksheet. 1 beat, 1 beat, 2 beats. Okay, now that I've done that, I go on. This is now measure 5. Now we have our measure 4 that we are measure 5 that we are working on. So I take this and I go taking a look at it. It's the exact same rhythmic pattern that we had before. 1, 2, 3, 4 together. Okay, and I write it over here. 1, 2, 3, 4 is together. Okay, and now for measure 6, I take a look at it over here, and once again it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Transcribe it into my document. Make sure you are adding these bar lines. Okay. These bar lines right there that divide up the measures, copy them from your examples over here. Right? So in my music, here is a bar line, and here is a bar line. Okay, make sure you're copying over those bar lines from the music. All right, so that's example for measures 1 through 6. If you take a look, measures 7 through 10 have lots the same deal as measures measures 3 through 6. And then 11 through 14, notice these rhythms: quarter note, half note. Now it does not matter if the note goes upside down, you still read left to right. This note right here is still a quarter note. That note right there is still a quarter note. That note right there is still a quarter note. This note right here, that is still a half note. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's upside down, right side up, whatever, you read it from left to right, staying within the measure. Okay, measures 11 through 14 are pretty much the same as before, and then measures 15 through 18. Now you need to watch out on measure 18. We do have another sort of rhythm, and let me help you out with that one. This one gets 4 beats. Okay, just like a whole rest gets 4 beats, the whole note got 4 beats. And so all 4 beats go with this note here. Okay, and if it's more than 1 beat, the beats that it gets go inside of the parentheses. So my measure 18 is going to look like this. Okay, so this is going to be my measure 18. All right, so that is all of the rhythms for piano and guitar. Remember, be better than you were yesterday.